welcome to another edition of the LEAP Weekly. This week we'll talk with Julie Pinkston of the Greater Lansing Convention and Visitors Bureau about the sensory-friendly offerings that we have for community members and visitors of all abilities. Make sure you stay tuned until the end for our member moment, which features the City of St. John's. Lansing is kind of paving the way to become Michigan's most sensory-friendly community. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that means and the offerings that we have?
Absolutely. So to be a sensory-friendly attraction or location here in our community, you have to make some very specific accommodations to serve the guests that might be arriving that just need extra sensory care, which means lights are lower, noises are less startling, there's a quiet room that someone could go to if they needed to get away from the overload of sensory type activities. So many of our attractions here in the community have partnered together. So we're really now able to have programming in 12 to 14 different locations around the community for visitors to come and experience. And they've all offered this programming, which continues with them having toolkits in their facilities to be able to serve the needs of the guests immediately on site, with fidgets to keep hands busy, headphones to block out some of the ambient noises. So our community has just really come together in terms of our attractions and things that visitors have an interest in connecting with. So we have really then been able, as the Convention and Visitors Bureau, able to market and promote our destination as a very sensory-friendly location for visitors to travel to. I think a real key to this program is that we've offered these opportunities within the community, but we also then backed it up with training. There are over 850 people have been trained on how to best serve their visitors that come into their facilities. So that's a big piece of it too, is being welcoming to all, accommodating to all. So that's training piece has been very important to also showcase. We have a few things coming up in the future as well into next year. We're working on partnering with a number of restaurants to make sure that dining issues are addressed in the best way that we can do so. We also are partnering hopefully with Capital Region International Airport to do training related to how to travel on an airplane. So it would be the whole experience of boarding an aircraft, getting through TSA, all those type of things is one of our next things for coming up in the future. So the program keeps growing and building and adding value to all that participate.
What are some of your favorite sensory-friendly locations here in our community?
So someone who's been a real trailblazer along this whole path has been Potter Park Zoo. I think if you look at a location like a zoo, it's not very sensory-friendly with lots of sights and smells and different things that come at you. So they've been very purposeful. They're Michigan's first designated certified sensory-friendly zoo, so that has been a great milestone for them to achieve. Their program last month, over 400 people registered to attend, and those are people here locally, but they're also people coming from around the state and the Midwest to participate in that. The other is the Wharton Center for Performing Arts has really been the leader getting this initiative started. So they had Disney's The Lion King with 1,400 people attending that 100% sensory-friendly performance of that Broadway show. So that was another spectacular event that our community hosted, and people came from, again, around the Midwest to participate in that event. And of course, many people that are on the autism spectrum or suffering with PTSD issues, any type of sensory needs, it's really hard for them to travel or go out in a public setting as a family or as a group. So these opportunities have really opened doors for our community members and visitors to come into places that they've never been able to come into before, which is amazing.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching. As always, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the LEAP Weekly email newsletter to get the latest and greatest in economic development news delivered straight to your inbox every Friday. We'll see you here next week, and happy Halloween.